Now we move on to the I don't know what we'd call this fight, but
The
now we
co
move on
main
to the
event.
co main event. Yeah, Vera Marlon Vera versus Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar coming back after an absolute brutal way of losing against Corey Sandhagen, and Marlon Vera coming back after a phenomenal performance against Davey Grant. Um, and props to Frankie. Number one, he's 40.
Yeah.
And he was looking really good for definitely the first two full rounds. I had it 2018 for Edgar entering round three. The knock on Marlon is, how's he going to defend against the takedown? How's he going to? And he wasn't doing that great because Frankie was taking him down and he was holding him down, similar to kind of what we were seeing when Marlon fought Jose Aldo. That was where he was losing because he kept getting taken to the ground and being held down to the ground. Granted, in Vera's defense, when Frankie took him down, like he wasn't just like helplessly there. You did see him throwing some elbows. He was trying to do something from down there. So he was somewhat active. He wasn't just, just hopelessly down there. But it seemed pretty clear if Marlon was going to win that fight entering the third, he had to finish him. And I think they mentioned it on the commentary. And boy, did he friggin' finish him. Holy crap. What a front kick right underneath the chin, just like Anderson Silva. And then Frankie Edgar disputing it. No, man, it's a good thing they stopped.
Yeah, that was clean, dude. I'm so annoyed that we can't show any of these replays because it would be awesome to be able to see that again. See it while we're talking about it, and we could just have that reaction. But yeah, that was amazing, and it was kind of a war the entire time too. Like I didn't feel at any point where I'm like,
like Frankie wasn't running away. 2018, it was a close 2018. That's how I had it scored. Actually, can we let's pull up the judges' scorecards. I didn't even take a look at this one. How did they have it entering that third? 2018, 1919. Oh, so okay. Two judges had it tied, and Sal Diamato was the one that had it 2018 for Edgar.
He's your spirit animal, man.
Yeah. I mean, this was big for Marlon. I forgot who I was listening to before the fight. Because Marlon's name obviously has gotten bigger because of the win over Sean O'Malley. But I think in his defense, it's not just for that. Like since then, he's a performer. Like like when he's fighting, if I see his name on a card now, I'm looking forward to that fight. It wasn't just because he got the W over O'Malley, so now I know of him. It's like, okay, so he did that. But since then, and he's fighting, he's lost, but it was still entertaining to watch. Even in this one, he was losing, again, in my opinion, 2 rounds, but I wasn't like, man, this guy's getting blown out of the water. He was competing for those 2 rounds, even though he was losing. And then he, again, in the third round too, I mean, he comes out, lands that kick. So, I mean, credit to him. I'm pretty, some of these older guys, when they fight and they lose like the way Frankie did, I'm pretty pro, like, all right, let's maybe hang it up and stop getting hit in the head like that. But to Frankie's credit, in a way, again, yeah, he's 40. For this fight, though, he was winning most of it up until that point. Then you look at the last fight, pretty decisive and clear. He got knee to the head very quickly and lost, so nothing there. But then the fight before that, he had a controversial victory over Pedro Munoz. I actually had that fight for Pedro, but still a close fight. So you look at those last 3, yeah, one of them was clear that he lost against Corey Sandhagen, but he puts up a good fight against Munoz, and he was putting up a good fight against Vera. So I don't know how I feel about what Frankie does next. I don't know if he knows yet what he does next. But like if I saw him fight again, I wouldn't be opposed to it, just because, yeah, even though he is at that 40 mark and his last 2 fights were pretty nasty ways he lost. 2 of those last 3 fights that he was participating in, he was legitimately competitive though. It's not like this guy is 40, the last few fights he's just getting blown out of the water. Let's push him out of the UFC. I think he's still doing a pretty good job. I don't know how you feel.
No, I agree, man. I mean, and coming off of last weekend, having Teixeira perform the way that he did, it should go to show you, man, like, don't doubt some of these old heads, because they will put up a fight and they will put you into the ground. And I think Frankie Edgar definitely demonstrated that he's not ready for retirement yet. You know what I mean? Like, again, had this KO not occurred, he probably would have gone to decision and may have taken that. So, don't sleep on these guys, man. I had it for Vera going into this.
Going into the third?
No, going just as my pick, I had taken Vera as my pick for the overall fight, and that's not because it's a knock on Frankie on my end, but it's more because I felt like Vera is just, a better fighter. So
I was just very impressed with how Vera did against Davy Grant, because Davy Grant had been doing well entering that fight. I was looking forward. I forget if that one fight of the night or not, but I think he for sure may have gotten a performance of the night. Because dude, he was so crisp in that performance. So especially after that one, I was like, dude, I can't wait to see him again. And then you see him get matched up with Frankie Edgar, and it wasn't looking great. So there's clearly those holes that the critics of Vera have of him, being the takedown defense. It still has ways to go. What did he get taken down every time? No, I didn't see what the metric was, but like he did stuff some of them, but he did ultimately still get taken down. And it's not like Marlon again. He's not hopeless when he's down there. He does have finishes. He does have submission finishes, but that's something that I don't know how much of a trajectory this gives him, given that he's beat Frankie Edgar, who yes, we just kind of gave some justification for him sticking around, but at the same time, clearly someone on the lower end, the downhill part of their career. So how much of a boost does this give Marlon? Not in notoriety, but in terms of standing in the bantamweight division, I don't know. Does he go up a little bit? He should, but again, a little bit. I don't think this is like Marlon now is a contender after seeing this fight. Like no, especially in the bantamweight division, no. I want to see a bigger name for Marlon, because I'd like to see him tested even further, even though he was tested in this one. But I would like to see maybe a top 7, top 6 guy. I don't know if top 5 is going to be warranted, but maybe something along those lines. Another top. I don't remember what Frankie was ranked entering this, if he was ranked, but I'd like to see him. Oh, Frankie was, what is that, 8?
Yeah.
Okay, so Frankie was 8, and what was Marlon, 11? I think. Is he underneath? I think he might be under Marias.
13.
Okay. All right. So fine. He beat a top 10 guy again, a guy who's on the downhill trend of there. Looking on there, I don't know what would be interesting to see. He already lost to Aldo. I mean, if he fought Merab, I think he would get crushed, because Merab would just take him down to the waters and drown him. I don't know. We'll see what they do next with Frankie. Not Frankie. I'm sorry. With Marlon. Maybe you can give him Dominic Cruz. I don't know if
Dominic Cruz is fighting. He's got a fight.
He does have a dance partner, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, like as far as top 10s, you're right. I don't know who you would match him. Maybe Jose Aldo.
5. I already lost to him.
Do it again.
He already lost to Aldo. You're not fighting anyone above that. I don't think you're ready for
Aljamain Sterling.
Sure. I don't know, but I mean, again, Marlon did what he had to do. Was he? You mentioned things to improve, but still phenomenal. I don't think we highlighted enough. What a finish!
It was a good fight, man.
Yeah, it was. So props to them. We'll see. Again, both guys curious what do they do with Frankie? What do they do with Marlon? Let's see. 2 completely different directions these guys are going. So that was our co-main event.